What's up guys, it's Toby here and welcome to a brand new Liverpool transfer news video where we will talk about Paulo Dybala, the Argentinian superstar who is linked with Liverpool once again, because according to reports coming from England and from Italy, Liverpool are seriously considering a move for Paulo Dybala, who has just 1 year left on his contract after this season. So Juventus basically are forced to sell the 27-year-old who has been on the sidelines. He has been sitting on the bench since early January because he suffered an injury previously prior to that, and Paulo Dybala has some great numbers in his career. He's 27 years old, so he is in the prime of his career. We could still get a great 4 or 5 years out of Paulo Dybala, and this season he only played 16 games because of that injury. Like, some of them came as a substitute, but last season he had 17 goals for Juventus, and since Ronaldo signed for Juventus, Paulo Dybala has been like a second or just third choice forward. But before that he scored 23, 19 and 26 goals at Juventus. So in 3 seasons he scored on average more than 20 goals a season at Juventus, being the main man. And I think if Liverpool want to sign a superstar striker, and maybe if we cannot afford Erling Haaland or if we cannot afford Kylian Mbappe, Paulo Dybala would be the perfect candidate, because as I said, it's very likely that he will leave Juventus because he doesn't want to sign a contract extension. He feels that he achieved all he can at Juventus. They are not winning the Champions League. Even with Ronaldo, they already won the Serie A, like for the past 5 seasons when Paulo Dybala was at Juventus. So, and he won the Italian Cup many times, like 3 times, and also the Italian Super Cup. And he also finished second in the Champions League in 2016-17 season. The one trophy that has eluded Paulo Dybala and Juventus is the Champions League. So I think Dybala would have ambitions of winning the Champions League at Liverpool. So if you enjoy this news and if you enjoy this video, leave a like, subscribe if you are new to my channel, and let me know, do you think Dybala would be a better deal? For something like 30, 40, maybe even 50 million pounds, we could get Paulo Dybala, because Juventus cannot ask for his normal price because of his contract situation. As I said, he only has 1 year left on his contract. And yes, I know that he's 27 years old, but that's not old as a striker. He's 2 years younger than Bobby Firmino, and I think replacing Firmino with Dybala, who has a much better goals to games ratio, would be an ideal scenario in my opinion. Sevilla are also interested in Paulo Dybala, but his asking price, his price tag, could potentially make Liverpool the favorites to sign Dybala, because I don't think Sevilla can pay like 50-60 million for Dybala, and I don't think Liverpool should pay that. Liverpool should really negotiate hard with Juventus, saying that if you don't sell us Dybala for like 45 or 50 million, then we are prepared to wait another season, and then we could get Paulo Dybala on a free transfer. So Juventus's hands are pretty much tied in this situation, and Dybala has amazing quality. And yes, he suffered a serious injury this season where he was unavailable, but in previous seasons Paulo Dybala was almost ever present. He always played at least 42 games for Juventus in the past 5 seasons, and the average is 45 games. So he's basically playing almost every game at Juventus except this season where he had an injury. And I think that is a really terrific injury record, something that Liverpool need to look at if we want to be serious about, you know, getting a striker who is as reliable as Firmino, Mane or Salah, who very rarely get injured. And yes, Paulo Dybala's original asking price is a lot of money, for 50-60 million, but because of the pandemic and because also Juventus have to sell because Dybala has just 1 year left on his contract, I think we could negotiate a deal close to 40 million pounds, something that would be beneficial for Juventus as well, because they could reinvest the money, and also for Liverpool, because we are getting a striker who will bang in 15-20 goals a season easily for the next 3 or 4 years, and that is absolutely brilliant. I think that Liverpool could sign a player of Dybala's caliber. Remember that he's an Argentina international as well. He played in World Cups, he played in Champions League finals, he played in many title races, so he's a winner. He He knows what it takes to win on the football pitch, and Liverpool need to have more champions, more winners in their team when it comes to new players, I think. And Sunday World journalist Kevin Palmer has claimed that Liverpool will listen to offers for Joel Matip this summer, and also for Xherdan Shaqiri, Divock Origi and Alex Oxlade-Chamberlain. Those are the 4 players that Liverpool will listen to offers for. And when Liverpool have a fully fit squad, Matip is third choice behind Virgil van Dijk and Joe Gomez, but injuries in the squad have given Joel Matip regular game time over the last few years. The big problem with Matip is he's very rarely fit. He always gets an injury in every like 2 or 3 weeks, even if he's playing, and it's really sad that Joel Matip is I think a world-class centre-back, really hampered by injuries. I mean, I just want to look up his numbers, because if he would be fit, he would easily play 40 games for Liverpool almost every season, at least 30 games. But because of his injury problems, he played on average 12 games in the last 2 seasons. He played 25 games in the last 2 seasons combined. Before that, he played 31, 35 and 32 games. So at least in the first 3 seasons, he was really a very reliable player. But in the last 2 seasons, he had so many injury problems that it was just really, like, we couldn't count on Joel Matip when it really mattered. I think he getting injured every month, every 3 weeks. Maybe Liverpool just are fed up with that, and maybe we want to bring in a younger, more reliable centre-back. But Joel Matip will be forever in the Liverpool folklore, in the Liverpool legends books, in the history books, because it was his assist that set up Divock Origi's goal before, Liverpool's second Champions League goal, and he will be forever remembered for that. And also, Joel Matip's value, according to Transfermarkt, is actually £29 million. And with 3 years left on Joel Matip's contract, I bet you didn't know, Joel Matip is like almost 30 years old. He has still 3 years left on his contract. Liverpool should be asking for 30 million for Matip. And if somebody is willing to pay that, then we could bring in similarly great quality, borderline world-class centre-back for the same amount of money. Plus, he would be 5-6 years younger maybe. I would love to see somebody like Koundé or Diego Carlos signed from Sevilla, or even Konate from Leipzig. Those 3 players, I think any one of them would be absolutely terrific signing for Liverpool. And Danny Murphy, the former Liverpool player and now pundit, is saying that Liverpool need a new goal machine. So why not break the bank and sign Erling Haaland? Liverpool stars also must consider the Euros sacrifice to be fit for next season, because Liverpool face a busy summer schedule in their bid to regain the Premier League title, and maybe Liverpool also need to sell some players like Divock Origi, Oxlade-Chamberlain, Xherdan Shaqiri. And what is also staggering is that Liverpool's form in the first 14 Premier League games, we had 9 wins, just 1 loss. We scored 36 goals from 217 shots, and since then, in the last 14, so the same amount of games, we only won 3 games instead of 9, and instead of losing 1 game, we lost 8 of the 14 games, and also in 14 games we just scored 11 goals. So 36 goals in the first 14 games, and then 11 goals in the next 14 is absolutely staggering. I mean, Mane and Firmino's shots per goal ratio has fallen off a cliff. I mean, last season it was 4 for Mane. The season before it was also 4. So every 4th shot from Sadio Mane ended up in a goal. In the first 14 games it was 8, so already double. And then in the last 14, every 14 shots Mane scores a goal. Wow, that is staggering. Firmino's form is even worse. It was 6 2 seasons ago, 6 shots per goal for Firmino, 11 shots per goal last season, and then in the first 14 it was back to 6 for Bobby Firmino. And then the last 14 games, listen to this, Firmino had to take 34 shots for scoring 1 goal. So every 34th shot for Bobby Firmino went in, And you might wonder what are the stats for Salah. Actually, Salah is not too bad. It was 4 shots in the first 14, 4 shots per goal, and in the last 14 it was 9. But last season it was 7 for Salah, and the season before that was 6, so actually 9 is not that much worse. But Mane and especially Firmino's shots per goal ratio is absolutely staggering. And Danny Murphy is saying that squad players such as Minamino, Shaqiri, Origi, Oxlade-Chamberlain may have to be sacrificed and sold to actually generate some funds, but he said so be it. Liverpool badly need a couple of players to make the team better, not 6 very rarely used stars or used squad members. Salah, Mane and Firmino and Jota are a fantastic quartet, but Liverpool need a top line, a world-class number 9 to become a goal machine again. And if Erling Haaland is available, why not be ambitious and try to break the bank for him? His arrival wouldn't make Firmino redundant, just give Liverpool more options. Jurgen Klopp's second major purchase should be a centre-back. I rate Joe Gomez and Matip, but they struggle to play a full season. Ozan Kabak was signed in January, but from what I've seen, he's not the answer. Let me interject here. My opinion is that it's very harsh to judge Ozan Kabak. He's just 20 years old on a handful of games played in a team which is decimated by injuries. Let's judge Ozan Kabak when he has Virgil van Dijk next to him. Then I'm sure that he will look as world class as maybe somebody like Joe Gomez. Midfield area is less of a worry, even if Wijnaldum leaves, because the emergence of Curtis Jones and also Thiago, Henderson, Fabinho, Naby Keita, James Milner and even Oxlade-Chamberlain. We have a lot of options there. And the statistics suggest that Liverpool are struggling in attack, but it's much more about the defense and how much Liverpool had to change the whole backline and the whole team because of that. And it is all connected. It affects the whole team as well. Fullbacks Trent and Robertson may have it in their mind to stay deeper. Liverpool's first choice midfield from last season of Fabinho, Henderson and Wijnaldum had the athleticism to play a higher line, press with intensity and gain more turnovers in the opposition half. I don't see age being a problem. Mane and Salah are 28, Firmino are 29 years old. They can play at a high level for another 5 years. Their mentality is fine, but they need a fresh impetus in the dressing room. Liverpool can refocus next season. If they aren't in the Champions League, they can concentrate on regaining the Premier League title, winning it again. Klopp has made it clear he's fully committed to Liverpool. The owners must support him with big signings. In football, standing still is never an option. You always need to improve and get better players, and I fully agree with Danny Murphy. I think he summed up brilliantly Liverpool's problems and the solution as well. And Kevin Palmer also said that Liverpool Anfield Chiefs have vowed to do everything they can to keep Mo Salah despite constant links with the move away from Liverpool, and they would be open to offers for Matip, Oxlade-Chamberlain, Shaqiri and Divock Origi. Jurgen Klopp assuring the hierarchy, Anfield hierarchy, that he's fully committed to the challenge of getting Liverpool back on track next season after recent speculation over his future. So maybe Liverpool will sell a few players who are really like bench or squad players, and the generated funds may be reinvested into signing world-class players like Erling Haaland, maybe like a world-class centre-back as well. And Wijnaldum said something very interesting. He said that only Champions League glory, only winning the Champions League can save Liverpool's season. With the high standards that Liverpool have set in the past 2 or 3 years, not winning a major trophy and like finishing outside of the top 4 and not winning the Champions League would be seen as a failure of a season, a massive disappointment. But you also have to caveat with the injuries, the loss of form, and all kinds of, like, basically almost everything that could go wrong for Liverpool went wrong this season. So let's listen to what Wijnaldum had to say. Of course, the Champions League can rescue this season, but I think a lot of people only say it is rescued if you win the Champions League, and everyone knows how difficult it is. I think there is always pressure when you play for a club like Liverpool. You have the results that we have had, and there will be pressure to bounce back and show that we can do better. We want to do better, but we have to show it. It has hit us hard. Definitely everyone can see it. We were used to winning games and winning trophies, and now it is the opposite. The confidence is less than the previous years, but but that is because it is a totally different situation we are in right now. We feel really bad. The way we deal with situations during games was really bad, and I'm really happy for the club, really happy with the team and the staff, and really happy with the fans for whom I play. It is not that I am not happy and I have to leave. It is not as easy as everyone thinks it is to make decisions for your future. So Wijnaldum still hasn't confirmed whether he will stay or leave Liverpool, but he's entitled to do that. I think we will know very, very soon. Jurgen Klopp was also asked what kind of additional benefits do Liverpool have when Fabinho returns to midfield, and he said, I would actually like to start the answer with this. Gini Wijnaldum did an incredible job on that position, to be honest, an incredible job. But there are two things. If you have Gini as a defensive midfielder, you miss him on him being a box-to-box attacking midfielder as well. A lot of things which were settled before were unsettled after that. And yes, Fabinho helps everybody on the pitch in both directions. If he can play his natural position, that's it. It's just that easy to say. And yes, that means that it makes life easier for Thiago as well. But it is not like this. We speak about it like one player back and now all the things will click again. Unfortunately, it's not like this. But it helped that night because, for example, all three midfielders made just a really good game. Fabinho played for the first time in a long time as a defensive midfielder, and you see, of course, the difference he can make in defending stuff, but connecting as well and these kind of things. And you saw Gini Wijnaldum on the number 8 position, who in defending moments is always involved with his mind, which was very important for the game, and Thiago that day as well. So that all helped. And that's why it worked out very well. When Fabinho can play the number 6 position, it's obviously for him the best position, and for us it's the best position for him as well. So I heard there was some criticism about Ozan Kabak when he came in and started playing and stuff like this. This is the world we are living in. You bring in a 20-year-old boy and everybody wants him to sort all our problems in 1 second, and you don't give him time at all. We didn't see it that way. And we are quite critical with ourselves and with the boys as well. Ozan played from the first moment on really good. Did he play as good as he can? His best performance ever? Probably not. Would it be possible? We spoke about Ben, how difficult these kind of things are. But Ozan played pretty much immediately. That makes it really tricky, and he tries to adapt. And when you try to adapt in these moments, you cannot be yourself naturally, because you try to adapt to other people. So it takes a while for a team who can do both, adapting to others and being yourself. But I'm completely happy with the performances so far. Of course, everybody knew Ozan is 20 years old. He's an amazing talent, so I don't think that's a problem. That we cannot judge him next to Virgil or Joel or Joe. We see what we need to see. And yes, it would be a dream winning the Champions League. Why not? But we are not in the situation. I said it after the Leipzig game. Yes, we were really all happy to go through to the quarterfinals and being in the last 8. That's really cool. And it's Milner said it's the 4th quarterfinal in 5 years with the Europa League involved. 4 times in the quarterfinal out of 5 times in Europe. So that's good, but we are not in the situation sitting here and telling already the fairy tale about how it all could end. What we think, what we wish, what we dream about, and all these kind of things is something completely different. But being ready for Wolves actually is the only concern I have in the moment. The only thing I'm really busy with, and using the positives from the last game, that would be very helpful. But look, yes, it's the last 8. The last 8 historically is very tricky in the Champions League because there are 7 other teams that are really good and they can all win the competition. It's not 100% clear who the other 7 teams are, but the few who are already in and the few which look like they will be in, there are no easy games. But in these games, then they give them a proper game. That's the plan. We should give them a proper game, whoever it is, definitely. And not today, it's in 3 or 4 weeks. I don't know exactly when the next round will be played, but we have enough time until then, and we try to use the time as well as possible. So I think that's a really, really sensible approach by Jurgen Klopp, and I'm actually really excited for the rest of the Champions League tournament, because everything else is a bonus now for Liverpool with so many injuries. I think that the pressure will be on the other team, except if we get Porto, but anybody else we get, the pressure will be on them. The Liverpool are decimated by injuries, so we will not be the favourites, and I'm really looking forward to it actually. Thanks for watching, guys. Hope you enjoyed this. Have a nice day. See you later. Goodbye.